I tell you what, Jeff, they came to your town, they helped you party it down, but it did not help them get on to the top 41 greatest rock songs about America July 4th weekend countdown right here on 108.9 The Hawk. That's Grand Funk Railroad. We're an American band. Kind of a shocker there. I'm just going to say that's a shocker.
It is a shocker. I mean, to have Grand Funk not make it on the 41 greatest rock songs about America July 4th weekend countdown. But I mean, that is the thing. They did the work, and you thought that you could just get out there and vote. I think we all know you can't just vote. You really got to do some work to get Grand Funk on there.
Yeah, you think just a simple vote is going to get everything done and taken care of? That's when it just slips out from under you, and you lose your Grand Funk Railroad.
Hey, look, you leave it in other people's hands. They're gonna screw you over, and Grand Funk ain't gonna show up.
They just
your Grand Funk will be taken away from you. It's just gonna be taken away from you.
It's gonna be gone. And they aren't part of the 41 greatest rock songs about America July 4th weekend countdown, but we are, and we've been here since Friday night, just doing this nonstop. We've been putting in the time. Literally. We really
haven't been sleeping.
We've just been listening to these great 41 greatest rock songs about America July 4th weekend countdown. A lot of people said that this title was a mouthful, but it really contains everything we know and love about this weekend.
Truly. And those people who say that it was a mouthful can shut their mouths.
Shut your mouths.
Shut your mouth. This is America.
Yeah.
All right? This is America, is these songs. And you're going to besmirch the 41 greatest rock songs about America July 4th weekend countdown? Well, then get out of here.
Yeah,
love it. I say love it or leave it.
Love it or leave it. You have said that before. Of course, Wisp Turlington not in the studio with us this weekend.
He doesn't love it. That is the thing. So he left it.
Yeah, he left it. He's actually in Montreal this weekend. And
notoriously, Wisp Turlington has many opinions, and one of those is he does not like the 4th of July.
He doesn't like the 4th of July. He doesn't like America. He is all for the America being broken up into different countries. And Wisp, this is where we disagree a little bit, pal.
Walk away from that one. He's up in Montreal checking out his crypto, looking at his NFT collection. Yep. He's an interesting man when you get to know him. He's an interesting man.
Truly is. But he'll be back sometime down the road if they let him back in. Yeah, we'll see.
He'll grease those palms. He'll talk to Rush. He'll talk to Geddy Lee. Geddy Lee will pull some strings. Don't you worry about him.
You gotta let West back in. All right.
Singing us into America.
The 41 greatest rock songs about America July 4th weekend countdown is, of course, brought to you by the fine folks at SHARNEY'S. That means whenever we hear that sounder, we have to either say something really nice about SHARNEY'S that comes from our hearts. We can say something our personal hearts, the ones we contain in our chests, or we have to say something true about SHARNEY'S, or we have to make a connection between SHARNEY'S and America. So whenever we hear this, you're going to hear that from us. But Jeff, let's get into the 41 greatest rock songs about America July 4th weekend countdown. We've been doing it all weekend long. We are finally at the final two songs, but it's so nice to have a moment to recap what we've heard.
Oh, the song's so nice you want to recap them twice.
Hey, if you're listening to the 41 greatest rock songs about America July 4th weekend countdown at a cookout or, at a party, and you want to bring a plate over to the old Hawk Nest, we wouldn't say no.
I am starving. I mean, that is the one thing we didn't plan on. We did not have enough food.
Yeah.
I thought you were bringing something. You thought I was bringing something. Yeah. Thought Pizza Emporium would maybe drop off some stuff. Maybe SHARNEY'S, because they're sponsoring this. Not to besmirch SHARNEY'S, of course. I would never besmirch SHARNEY'S.
Well, they must have heard that, so here we go.
I'll say the one true thing about SHARNEY'S that I do have to say is that motto is very true. No one eats for free at SHARNEY'S, and no food is free, because even if they sponsor you, they ain't going to give it to you. And we respect that. We have to say, we respect that for the 41 greatest rock songs about America. July 4th weekend countdown. We did not get any food, but I am starving.
Starving. So let's get into it. Let's recap this so we can get you to your final two songs and we can get out of here. But coming in at 41 on the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th Weekend Countdown, you know Molly Hatchet's gotta be part of this countdown. You also kind of wonder, their entry, Flirtin' with America, you know, this is what, they have two flirtin' songs. They flirted with Disaster and they flirt with America. Now, flirting with Disaster, not so creepy. Flirting with America, creepy.
Flirting with Disaster, that one went over like gangbusters.
Yeah, it did.
Flirting with America, not cool.
Not cool.
Not cool. It is a long song. It is, as we said, a creepy song. Yes. It is less flirt and more just aggression, more just toxic masculinity is a term I've heard that now I just think really the textbook definition of toxic masculinity got to be Molly Hatchet's Flirting with America.
It's got to be that. So what else can you really say about that song except for woof?
Woof. And, you know, again, like many Molly Hatchet songs, we say it all the time when it comes with Molly. You always think it's going to be slightly better than it's going to be.
Oh, yeah, because you look at that cover. You look at that art and you're like, oh, well, I like Lord of the Thrones. I like Conan.
This is going to be, Frank Frazetta means heavy, and then, not as much.
Hey, Jeff, what's coming in at 40 on the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th Weekend Countdown?
Well, speaking of extreme that we think Molly should be, number 40 is Extreme with their classic American song, Flags and Wet Corn Dogs.
Oh, God, this takes me back to every single Val Verde County Fair. I would go out there. I'd go out with my meemaw. And Meemaw would say, honey, you want a wet corn dog or a dry one? And you know what the answer always was.
The answer was always, we're at Wet Corn Dog Festival. I want a wet one.
I want the wet one. I want the wettest one. I want the one that uses a straw instead of a stick so I can suck it down. In fact, you just go to the counter at any little stand at the Wet Corn Dog Festival at the Val Verde County Fair and you say, give me two to suck down.
Most people don't understand. Jack and Diane, John Cougar Mellencamp, when he's saying sucking on a chili dog, he's talking about a wet corn dog. That's just his vernacular, his slang for a wet corn dog.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he
visited Val Verde once. He visited Val Verde once, and it is odd. John Cougar has never returned to Val Verde. We are a home of classic rock, but the man will not return here.
We have sent letters. He will not return. Jeff, just to go back to a point you just brought up, you kind of wonder if he tried the wet corn dog in the lyric, like, sucking down a wet corn dog. Outside the taste freeze. It does kind of work. It
does.
Missed opportunity because I think the world would be a little bit better if everybody knew.
Sucking on a wet corn dog at the taste freeze. It just flows off the tongue, much like a wet corn dog flows down your throat when you're sucking on it.
Diane saying, give me one suck, please, because she wants a bite of the wet corn dog.
Exactly. And if that was a lyric in Flirting with America, it would mean a completely different thing. It would be completely creepy.
Please arrest Molly Hatchet.
Please, just the cops, if you're listening, authorities, please look out for Molly.
Look out for Molly Hatchet. When you see Molly Hatchet, they're going to look nothing like the cover. Don't worry, you're not going up against a barbarian.
No. They are weaklings, and you will take them down.
You will take them down so easily. In fact, you probably already have them in a few databases.
Yeah. There's a couple FBI lists with Molly Hatchet on there, if you know what I mean.
Well, we keep moving on in the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th Weekend Countdown. Number 39, of course, it is a classic. It should be higher. I would think this would be higher. Neil Diamond's America, featuring Anthrax.
I'm with you. I thought this was going to be top 20 easily, but again, voting. It's just not, you got to do more. Please.
You got to do more. You think your voting is done.
No.
And then nothing gets done. You got to vote more.
Exactly, and that's the problem. You vote, and then you got to vote more. You got to get extra votes in.
You got to vote.
That's what you got to do. You got to find a way. More. Just so much more voted. But that's the thing. I tried to vote many times because I love America, and I love the song America, and I love when Anthrax comes in doing that duo with Neil Diamond. Every song is better with Anthrax playing along with your favorite other genre. Wait a second, is Charlie Bentante here playing that double kick?
My country, 'tis of thee. it's just so good to hear that double bass.
Ugh, man. And I tell you, people said Neil Diamond and Joey Belladonna's voices wouldn't match. Oh, they match.
Oh, they match perfectly. And also,
mostly because Joey Belladonna's singing so high you can hardly hear him in his register. Right. So mostly it's Neil Diamond. But
dogs, on the other hand, can truly hear him.
So that is the thing. If we remember, we do apologize for all the dogs in Valverde that freaked out when we played America of Neil Diamond featuring Anthrax.
We did get your messages, and we do apologize. We didn't know.
We didn't know. We also do apologize to everyone who got very stressed out when Scott Ian started rapping in the middle of America. I always forget that part's coming, and you're like, it kind of works.
No, but still, this is my favorite Anthrax collaboration. A lot of people are going to say the Public Enemy collaboration on Bring the Noise is their favorite. They'd be wrong. It's America. Neil Diamond featuring Anthrax, number 39 on the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America, July 4th weekend countdown.
Can we go to 38?
Oh,
can we talk 38?
Can we talk 38? Because this one,
This was one. This was one that I was excited about when we got to 38. Again, thought it'd be higher, but maybe that's just if you and me were voting.
I guess. But we do vote.
We do vote. And but the people spoke here. But of course, number 38 was Glenn Frey. And this was from his box set.
Yes,
the box set that you and I both own.
Yep. Fry and Bacon.
Fry and Bacon.
It's a weird name for a box set. It was only in stores for 1 week. Cassette only.
Cassette only, and with a VHS that came with it.
Right.
But the VHS was oddly a commentary to the audio cassettes. So you had to get two mediums to work, and we've done it once. We lined it up like The Wizard of Oz and Dark Side of the Moon.
Or that Flaming Lips record, Zyreka. We did it just like that. It was just like a Zyreka.
As we all know, Zyreka was definitely taking it from the Fry and Bacon.
Fry and Bacon cassette only Glenn Frey box set. But this song, man, this is an early demo for The Heat Is On, and it was called, Jeff?
Porkin' America.
Porkin' America. I don't know really how that works in it. I think it's like, where he says like, the heat is on. I think he thought maybe that was Porkin' America. Again, the saxophone's there.
The saxophone is there. Like every time you think that sax won't be there, it kicks you in the nuts.
Yeah, it really just...
And every time it hurts.
Oh, it hurts every time.
It hurts. And I think
America.
That's why I like this demo, because it actually throws you off a little. You're always not expecting that nut punch of a sax solo, but you're definitely not expecting Porkin' America to be coming in.
I tell you what, when I was learning saxophone in high school, my music teacher would always say to me, "Don't do that note. It's a real nut punch." And I'm like, what do you mean? And then he would turn on The Heat Is On. He didn't have the money to get the cassette box set. So he did the Heat Is On. And then I would hear what he was saying. Now, before we move to 37, I do have one question about Porkin' America. Do you think it's about fucking America, or is it about Glenn Frey's love of barbecue?
Oh, I've always guessed it was a nice 50-50 on that one.
Yeah, it's got to be,
what,
right?
Kind of a 9.5 week style erotic exploration of the human body, but using food, but only pork products.
A lot of barbecue sauce.
Ugh, and it is a mix, though. It's Carolina style, so you got that nice vinegar. And that is where you come. That is the fun part.
It really is. And hey, speaking of coming, 37, nobody came to my 4th of July cookout from Boston. A very sad track from Boston.
Gotta say, this is the saddest one on the whole countdown. This is a real depressor of a jam, because when I think of Boston, what do I think of? Well, of course, I got this.
I'm going to guess.
No, you got it. Please guess.
I am going to think that you think of upbeat,
you got it,
overly engineered and compressed.
You got it.
Rock songs that make you want to feel good.
You got it.
Doesn't make you feel good. It makes you want to feel good.
Exactly. I do not feel that with Nobody Came to My 4th of July Cookout. This one is a true bummer. It's because it's too true. It's too real. Like, I get it, Boston. Like, this is it's a long story. It's an interesting story. It's you threw that original barbecue at the beginning of the summer, right when summer starts, just a couple weeks before, and you're just like, hey, let's do this. Like, even though the official beginning of summer in our souls is the 4th of July, it actually is June 21st. And so you threw that one, the summer solstice barbecue, and everyone came. Everyone came because they were excited, because you beat them to the punch, but then you blew your load. You had a picnic way too close. All of a sudden, people are too busy porking America.
They really,
on
truly
the 4th
are.
of July. Because I get it. You went to that first barbecue and you're like, look, we did it. I'm not doing a second one.
I don't. Tom's got the second one, and I don't want to. And then Tom's sitting at his second barbecue. Tom Scholes, of course, who wrote the song and did every little piece of it. He's hoping all his MIT buddies come out, and
those nerds ain't coming out. Please, they hardly came out to that first one. Yes. And honestly, everyone else is just like, these parties, we thought they'd be wild. They're a little too antiseptic.
Yeah,
they're so tight and controlled. He is a true nerd. True nerd. But good song in the end. Still a good song. I feel bad in my soul, but still a good American song. Yeah, kind of feels like America.
Kind of feels like America. Some decent guitar work.
Yes.
Yeah, probably should be. But here, I'm going to say something a little controversial. Probably should be lower on the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th Weekend Countdown.
Probably should be a little lower on the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America's July 4th Weekend Countdown. But, I have to double again. Not word salad. That one just flowed right out of my mouth.
Went right out of your mouth. No one eats for free at Sharney's. And speaking of things that come right out of your mouth, my God, the hermit crab salad.
Oh, boy.
If you haven't tried that at Sharney's, you are missing out. These are crabs that are angry. These are crabs that are on the move. They're trying to get out of your mouth and into any other shell that is in the vicinity. And the nice thing about this salad is Sharney's will put out extra shells. One will be painted with the Batman symbol. One will be painted with the Superman symbol. Now, I don't know if they have the rights to do that from Warner Brothers, but
Sharney's don't believe in rights. So who's going to attack my Sharney for that one?
Yeah.
Except just for the Deadpool one. The Deadpool one did bring some lawsuits, but they're still working those out. Don't worry about that.
And I think here's another thing. We can tie this to Sharney's to America. Sharney's doesn't care about rights, and neither does America. No one eats for free. Hey, speaking of, let's keep on with the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th Weekend Countdown. Remember, we are counting down. We are down to the final 2 songs in the countdown, meaning Jeff and I might get some tater salad, if you know what I mean.
Wouldn't I mind a little tater salad? It could be vinegar-based or it could be mayonnaise-based. I'll take anything at this point.
I would literally kill for some potato salad right now. If you were listening, just bring it over.
Let's bring a sack of raw potatoes. You can tell us it's a salad. I'd eat it.
I'll chew into it.
I'll chew right into it.
I'll chew a tater, and I'll chew right into this one, number 36.
Oh, I mean, this is, of course. Do you think that's Charlie Matante from Anthrax? No. That one is going to be no. We are, of course, number 36, Van Halen, with the hottest song. The hottest song. Hot for Congress.
Oh.
And I tell you, if there is one thing that I'm hot for, it's Congress.
Oh, please.
Legislature just makes my chub get extra hard, if you know what I mean.
Yes, it does. Don't hit the delay, Scotty. Scotty's in the booth, just to let you know. Scotty's working for us all weekend long. Scotty's been working hard, barely doing shit for us.
Ain't doing nothing.
He's eating a hot dog. Where did you get that? Where did you get it, Scotty? Are there more? Shaking his head.
He's just shaking his head. I've got a feeling, I'm not going to lie to you. We haven't been able to leave because of the countdown. I've been getting wafts of delicious barbecue. I've got a feeling there's a barbecue going in the Meatloaf Memorial ass of the building.
Or if you're smelling barbecue and barbecue sauce, it could be the ghost of Glenn Fry.
It could be the ghost of Glenn Fry, or I could possibly be having a heart attack.
You could be having a heart attack.
I'm not positive at this point.
But I'm having a heart attack for this song.
Hot for Congress?
Oh, man, we both went to that one.
Because we're just so horny for it.
We are so horny for the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th Weekend Countdown, number 36, Hot for Congress, Van Halen. You think, is this just hot for teacher with Congress replacing teacher, and you'd be right.
Yeah, it is. It is. You would think completely right. It is one of the lazier Van Halen songs, honestly. They work usually pretty hard on their songs, except for, well, honestly, let's be frank, Michael Anthony's bass lines. Let's never say he worked too hard on that. He gets in the pocket, though. He's in the pocket.
Boom, 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 boom.
Ride that E. Ride that E straight home. I will say there is an interesting borderline Les Claypool, Stanley Clarke style bass solo in the middle of this one.
Very weird.
The one difference, they change teacher to Congress, and then there is a bass solo where he shows you, I can't actually play bass, even on a Jack Daniels bass.
He even whispers it. He goes,
the whole time.
This is me playing this bass solo.
And if you go the backmasking, he goes, it's really me.
It's really me. It's mine.
It's really.
Also, the part where David Lee Roth normally says, I don't feel tardy. He says, I don't feel like voting. Which, probably it wasn't a good message for 1984.
Not a great message. Feels like it might have started a slippery slope we were already on. But
speaking of slippery slopes, number
the slippery
35.
Oh my God.
I don't even know how this is on the countdown. It is a rock opera. Now, this was released just by itself. It's not on any bat out of record. It's called The Constitution from Meatloaf.
I gotta give a special 108.9 The Hawk reminder. We named the memorial part of the building in tribute to Meatloaf many moons ago. Like literally.
We're
talking Fight Club era, because that's the biggest thing. We are the biggest fans of Meatloaf in Fight Club. We think he does a bang-up job.
It's the only part I like.
Great movie because of that part. The rest of it, garbage.
I don't. When I'm at home and I'm like, I have a big thing of popcorn. God, I'd kill for some popcorn right now. If I have a big thing of popcorn, I sit down and I'm like, you know what? I feel like watching Fight Club, and I only watch the YouTube clips of the Meatloaf scenes.
Yeah, but those have been were a bit besmirched by his later day politics that really are evident in our 35th song, The Constitution.
Now, this is a rock opera from a man who clearly knows nothing about the Constitution.
Much like people who many times claim they know a lot about the Constitution.
And much like people who go and typically serve America in Congress.
Or maybe people who base decisions off of a flawed document written hundreds of years ago by a bunch of ignorant, kind of racist, but ain't that America? I mean,
anyway, so the Constitution, what a piece of shit. Go ahead and delay that, Scotty. He's saying no.
Shaking his head no. I guess that one's staying in. All right.
That one's staying in. So
that one might be a pull quote. The Constitution. What a piece of shit. Jason Gore. Yeah. That won't be taken out of context by anyone.
God. Anyway, R.I.P. Meatloaf. Moving to 38. Oh, now this is a good one. You may remember.
I think you got thrown off by the Constitution. We're on 34, Jason. You are tired.
What? Oh, my God. I said 38.
Oh, again, you are.
Hold on. I've been drinking this Mountain Dew new flavor. It's called Warning.
Yeah.
And I think it has more caffeine and more sugar than any Mountain Dew that they put before. And
remember when you were a child and you found out about Jolt Cola?
Oh.
And you were like, twice the sugar, twice the caffeine. And then even they were like, we need to maybe reduce the caffeine because children are having heart attacks.
Well, Mountain Dew Warning has, what is it? Let me look at the can here. 38 times the sugar and caffeine as a Jolt Cola. And then it says, remember Jolt? I think of course we do. We just talked about it, but
it's kind of foreboding, actually, that it just says, remember Jolt, ... Like it seems like a warning there. But You have not heeded that warning.
I have not.
We haven't had any food. You've just been pounding these things the entire weekend.
Mountain Dew warning.
Much like I can hear your heart pounding across the desk. I can actually feel it at this point. You might want to pull back on those warnings.
My heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, but hey,
better watch out for listening to that song, by the way. It might give you a heart attack at this point, listening to that heart attack. Yeah.
I have another case. I've got another 12-er here that I'm going to hopefully get through by the time we get to number 2.
Hope you don't. Hope you don't. Oh, yeah, he's losing it.
41 Greatest Rock Songs About America, July 4th Weekend Countdown 34. You may remember Led Zeppelin's Going to California on Led Zeppelin 4. Beautiful song. Went to go, and I got in a band, and I got on a train, and I went to California.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Like I was listening to a recording right there.
Oh, is
California.
Did Robert Plant stop by? Oh, he did. Wait, really?
First time he's not shaking his head, no.
Yeah, wait, he literally stopped by. And now he's holding up the hot dogs. The hot dogs came from Robert Plant.
God damn it, Plant. What are you doing here?
Are they plant-based? Jeff, I'm sorry. Those are plant-based hot dogs.
Oh, are you kidding me? Robert, we could have been trying the new Robert plant-based hot dogs. Oh my goodness! Well, that is, it's like you just put salt in my wounds.
Well, you know where
Scotty.
the only place you can buy the Robert plant-based hot dogs.
No one eats for free at SHARNEY'S.
Get them at any location of SHARNEY'S because no one eats for free, not even Robert Plant. He came up with a plant-based hot dog, and he still has to pay for them at SHARNEY'S.
But I gotta say that I'll say a nice thing about SHARNEY'S and all of their aggression, still following that plant-based trend, and I respect them for that.
You gotta respect
I mean,
that.
you have to pay triple to get the plant-based, and it doesn't really make any sense,
right?
Economically, and actually, the plant-based Robert Plant-based dogs are much smaller. They're about the size of like Vienna sausages, and you're paying about $15, $20. And the odd part too is like Mama Sharney, it's like she spit in it. One, it tastes like she spit in the Robert Plant-based dog, but you also don't get a side with the plant-based dogs. You have to pay extra for that. Every other one, you get a side. So really, kind of a bird in the hand, two in the bush, spit in your face from Mama Sharney's situation. But we appreciate them here on the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America, July 4th Weekend Countdown. Yeah, we love you.
Hey, the Zeppelin song we're talking about went to California, then left. So it is a sequel to Go Into California.
Talks about his trip back. It's just kind of, the ins and outs of travel.
Saw the ocean, got out of there.
Had a layover, then got a Jamba Juice. Just kind of, just like the bits of waiting around and just like, my gate got changed, then I went over there. And you're just like, oh, okay, now we're just gonna
driving through Wyoming and nothing I see in a mountain. It's kind of a wreck. It's kind of a wreck.
But that's kind of like America. It's great. It's fantastic.
Kind of like America. Ain't that America?
Ain't that America? Good question.
Oh. Hey, now this is a real twofer right here. 33 and 32 really correspond. On number 33, we heard Night Ranger's Epic. You can still rock in America. Epic.
And then followed right up. 32. They asked us to stop rocking in America. That one, short and aggressive.
Short and aggressive. It's just...
Short and aggressive. And it's interesting because the entire time you're listening to You Can Still Rock in America, you're like, who? Who's ever said you couldn't rock in America? It feels like a made-up issue. But apparently, it wasn't.
And somebody stepped right in and they said, Night Ranger, cool it.
Yeah, and it is a list of names and like addresses, social security numbers. It's
very passive-aggressive.
Very passive aggressive, and they all got doxxed. They've all been getting doxxed on the Night Ranger Reddit forums. That's
all
not
Night Ranger does
situation
anymore. They don't even play Sister Christian at like fairs and stuff. They just dox people online.
They get up on stage, take out their laptops, get on Reddit.
Yeah, they don't even bring music.
Shout out to Chainsley
instruments.
Reddit, by the way, for creating just a fantastic.
Thank you for
Chainsley.
That. And
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you on behalf of Night Ranger for giving them a new, interesting, up-to-date act. It's great when a boomer really understands the internet and really
It's great when a boomer's making all the decisions, right?
You know what? That's what we're always saying. Classic rock is always about no rules, but follow the rules.
You gotta follow the rules.
You gotta follow them rules, and you gotta follow the rules that the boomers make. Right? Because there is nothing better than a rule made by like a 78-year-old out of touch white male.
Oh God,
that is just when you really know you got your finger on the pulse.
Yep.
Of America.
Oh, God. And speaking of the finger on something, on some kind of pulse, number 31, 38 Special's nastiest song they ever wrote and released, cranking it all over the USA. Now, of course, they had their other song that lightly touched on masturbation, which was Hold On Loosely.
Yes.
And Don't Let Go. Yes. If you squeeze too tightly, you're going to lose control. And that was just a very thinly veiled little thing about masturbation, or just, blowing
Slightly veiled.
But this one is just very in your face. Like, it just lists all of the states that 38 Special has cranked it in.
Two interesting facts about this one, if we can get into a good rock fact situation here.
No, I don't. Scotty, do we not have the
Scotty?
music?
Just shaking his head. No, he's got 4 rubber plant-based dogs. What a jerk.
Facts.
Interesting fact. Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue was based off of this song.
No, it wasn't. Really?
They got the idea of just kind of listing off, but they actually oddly were a little more tasteful, pulled back a little bit, made it a little bit more, forgot the names, remembered romance. This is not about romance. This is just about...
No, it is not.
Saw someone for the spank bank, squirted it out later. But the second interesting good rock fact here...
I need another warning. Hold on.
Yeah, you better take a pull on that one. Second interesting good rock fact here. This was... Oh, my goodness, that heart attack. Just hold on loosely to your heart.
Completely red.
Most people don't know, this was the song 38 Special submitted to Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise, to be their song for it. Take Me Back to Paradise was supposed to be cranking it all over the USA. Then they were like, that doesn't even make sense. We're not even in the USA in this movie.
Right. And then 38 Special was like, fuck you. We'll release it as a single. It'll be a hit. It wasn't, but it's number 31 on the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America, July 4th weekend countdown. Number 30, kind of a shocker here.
I was shocked.
Now, not only... Like, everybody knows Jimi Hendrix playing the Star Spangled Banner. But did you know he recorded a demo for it that sounds nothing like the Star Spangled Banner?
It is. If you've ever seen a video of Robbie Krieger from The Doors.
Oh, Robbie Krieger. I call him Robert.
Oh, because you give him the reverence he deserves.
Yes. Robert Krieger.
For putting up with Jim Morrison all those years.
James Morrison.
Mm-hmm. And the other members of
the
Doors.
Members of the Doors. I am too cranked up now to remember. Raymond
Manzarek, the poet laureate of talking about poet laureates, and the other guy. So the thing about this demo is it sounds exactly like when Robert Krieger was trying to play the Star Spangled Banner at a hockey match and totally could not hear his anthem or remember what the song sounded like,
or even remember that America is a country.
Everything went out the window in his brain that day, but most people don't know. I hate to keep going into good rock facts territory here, but
good rock facts. See, Scotty, I can do it. I don't need you.
We don't need you. Eat more plant-based dogs, you jerk in our face. Most people don't know he actually was just doing a note-for-note cover of the Star Spangled Banner demo version by Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix, number 30.
Which sounded terrible.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes.
As we get through, we're almost we're not even halfway. We are plugging along in the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th weekend countdown. Jeff, if there's one thing I know about you being my best friend and co-host for so many years here at 108.9 The Hawk, I know that your favorite movie is National Treasure.
Cannot get enough National Treasure. Never seen the sequel or Ulz. Just watch National Treasure over and over. But yes, of course.
And this song is a little related to it. It is about a search, and it is about trying to find stuff in Washington, D.C., and it's a real life search that's still going on. There are people that are still hunting this down in the nation's capital today. Number 29. The song is "The Heart of Rock and Roll" is actually in Washington, D.C., and here are the clues to find it from Huey Lewis in the News.
I've been trying to figure it out ever since I heard it. I'm still finding it out myself. And the thing is, he name checks Nicolas Cage in this.
He does.
How did Nicolas Cage? The actor Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. How did Huey Lewis know?
Huey Huey knew because the clues of "The Heart of Rock and Roll" were in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
They all led back to Cage.
He basically just screams off a bunch of different places, like Jefferson Memorial.
Yeah.
And then he's like, Iwo Jima Memorial. And then he's like, Arlington National Cemetery. Washington Monument. And it's like, these are all like, like, where am I? You're basically just giving me it's like you're a Gray Line tour guide and I'm on the top of a double-decker bus. I need more clues. Huey. We have tried to find the heart of rock and roll.
The interesting part, too, is he even gives, like, minuscule DC monuments. Yes. Like, all of a sudden he goes, Discord House! The house where Ian MacKaye and the home of Discord Records and the heart of DC punk is, and yet somehow it is also connected to the heart of rock and roll. And I don't know how.
Well, if God.
One day we'll figure it out.
One day we will figure it out. If you're out there currently searching for the heart of rock and roll, my heart is with you because I've been trying to find that heart for years. And
I know I found your heart because it's banging away because of that Mountain Dew
basically
warning.
Slamming its fist down on this table, asking me for another can of Mountain Dew warning, and I'm going to give it to it here in just a second. Hey, number 28, what do we got, Jeff?
Oh, 28, of course. We have one of the most American songs on here. Comes from a Canadian band because there is nothing I love more than a Canadian band talking about America like they live in America. This is, of course, Rush with USA.
I think it's USA.
There, that makes more sense to me. You know, I've never understood. Now, I did always understand when it had parentheses where it just said, what's that all about? That part I always got. Right. But now that makes more sense. That's, again, the confusing part. When you have a Canadian band talking about, no, I'm just talking about North America, but really I'm talking about the United States of America.
Right.
But I got to say, they still put their finger on the pulse of what this country is all about.
I tell you what, they know more about what this country's about than Bryan Adams does, because when he did Summer of '69, he tried to make it feel like a good United States summer. Man, you failed. You failed. I know that was an Ontario summer.
Yes, but no, this song where USA, Neil Peart shoved in a lot of lyrics about Ayn Rand.
Oh my, and, so weird.
I mean, but that is the thing. It actually made sense when they were talking about America.
Well, speaking of making sense, Jeff, number 27, we heard Skynyrdd's finest song. You're gonna say Freebird. You're gonna be wrong, because it is Leonard Skynyrd's "The Watergate Lyric Explained."
I mean, it's always been just an interesting lyric in their rebuke to Mr. Young, another Canadian artist.
Yeah.
Talking about America.
I hope Neil Young does remember.
Yeah. Watergate don't bother me. Does your conscience bother you? Well, but I'm also a little bit bothered by Watergate. What exactly are you trying to tell us there?
It's almost you almost wonder what Leonard Skynyrd would be like today.
I actually don't wonder, because I've got a feeling exactly what they feel like today. And I think I can sum it up in one word: scary.
I can sum it up in another phrase. If you give me a second, I'm gonna play
a little something.
Yeah, I'm gonna put myself in the pants of.
So he's been drinking 2 more cans of Mountain Dew Warning.
I looked at this case of Mountain Dew Warning, and I'm like, should I pop it open? I don't want to, but so I'm a member. I am a Leonard Skynyrd. They didn't die in a plane crash, and they are alive in 2021. They're alive on and this is it. So I'm
the original version, the not hobbled version,
not the hobbled version. The original. They never took planes. They only took trains. Here we go. Thank y'all for coming out to this January 6th concert.
Makes sense.
There we go.
Yeah.
And scene.
And a perfect scene and a perfect summary of exactly why that lyric should probably be explained, because even the explanation, woo, doggy, not so clear.
Hope QAnon does remember.
Where we walk, all of us walk.
Oh, man, we're having fun.
We are
on
having
the 41
fun.
Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th Weekend Countdown. And...
No one eats for free at Sharney's.
oh, God, I had Sharney's. Man, I would kill for Sharney's right now.
I would die for SHARNEY'S
right
now.
I would die for Sharney's right now. I've never felt that before. I would go right up to their brand new all gravy buffet.
Oh.
I'd stick my hands in, because that's what you have to do. They don't have anything.
There's no ladles.
There's no ladles.
No sneeze guards either. Sharney's was not going to update their protocols the past 2 years, if you know what I mean.
Please. It's gravy for all, but nobody eats that gravy for free at Sharney's. Oh, moving on. Number 26 in the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th Weekend Countdown. Gotta say, Jeff, this one was a little bit of a confusing one for me.
Don McLean, American Pie X.
American Pie X. I mean, I guess that makes us think that there were, 8 other American Pies?
That's what I'm starting to think.
Did this come out? Was there a movie, American History X?
American History X.
This was on the soundtrack for that movie.
And also, this was on the soundtrack to the movie American Pie as well. So that's like...
it's a little confusing.
And I put in the bid for the original 17-page version lyrics explanation
I remember when you did that.
The original version, that's one of the reasons I'm in such financial troubles, one of the many reasons. Did not get it, but I think that was the the edited version. The unabridged version is where we get into American Pie X. Gets more confusing. The weirdest thing. Speaking of performing at a January 6th NRA rally, I mean,
there's a lot of stuff in here. There's a lot of explanations on how to build a bomb. There's a lot of explanation. He does continue on the Big Bopper's storyline.
Yes.
So he moves on.
Also somehow integrating the Turner Diaries, which is not cool at all.
Not cool at all. But it is good to hear that the Big Bopper survived in Don McLean's eyes.
Oh, in his America. In
his America.
In the 10th version, maybe? Is this what we're supposed to get at? Or?
I do not know. I hate that we played this. American Pie X, Don McLean.
You know what I don't hate we played, though?
What's that?
On the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America's July 4th Weekend Countdown. Believe it or not, the theme to The Greatest American Hero by Joey Scarberry. I mean, that
should have been higher.
That one should have been higher. That could have been a number one for me. I mean, there is nothing I love more than the theme to The Greatest American Heroes. There's nothing more American than a story about a school teacher who finds an alien suit in the middle of, I believe, Albuquerque, New Mexico, or somewhere out in the desert, and he gives him magical powers, superpowers, but he loses the owner's manual, and he has an FBI friend who eats dog biscuits. That's my America right there.
That is my America, too. That is literally, this could happen to anyone in our America.
Yes.
This could happen to anyone. You could find
a cautionary tale.
Mm.
It's an inspirational tale. There's a reason that this 45 was the first record I ever owned. This was the beginning of classic rock to me.
This is, and nothing says classic rock like Joey Scarberry. And also, nothing says dressing up in costumes quite like number 24 on the countdown, the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th Weekend Countdown. It's the Beach Boys and LARPin' USA.
Their nerdiest song.
Nerdiest song. You may not know this. LARPing is a thing where nerds dress up like, knights?
It could be knights, it could be Star Trek, it could be anything, as long as they are live action role playing. Often could be even a
is that
Lord
what
of the
that stands
Rings
for?
Live action
L
role play.
A is action.
R
role.
P.
Play P.
And this is, of course, the Beach Boys song written by Mike Love.
Yes, it's 100% a Mike Love.
The biggest nerd in the Beach Boys.
Biggest nerd. Always dresses up like a knight.
Yes.
Keeps the ball cap on, though. Very
Always
weird.
Keeps the ball cap on.
You got to keep the ball cap on.
Look, you dress up like a knight, it ain't going to change that hairline, if you know what I mean.
I guess we're not getting Mike Love on the show anytime soon, are we, Scotty? Yeah, no, he's shaking his head. No, he's not going to happen. Hey, moving on. 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America, July 4th weekend countdown. We're getting towards the midpoint here. Wow, God, this is just a recap. We have two songs to play. This is just a recap. And of course, it's brought to you commercial free by SHARNEY'S. Thank you, SHARNEY'S. And wow, this was a big trunk of the, why I said trunk. Let me crack open another one of these.
He is losing it, so we better start getting through
I'm going to shotgun this one.
No, don't shotgun it. Oh my God, this is not going to be good. But what was good was a big chunk. Oh my, just hold it together. Breathe. Yeah, he's not breathing. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. Just take some water. Drink one sip of water. You haven't had any water this entire time. All right, I got to push through because Jason is in a coma over here briefly. Just a brief warning coma. And he's back. All right.
Okay,
Did you see the light there?
I saw the light.
Yeah, well, keep with me here because...
Meatloaf was there. Meatloaf was in the light. And he said, "Did you play my song?" And I said, "Yeah, we played that dumb fucking song, number 35, the Constitution." And then I got pulled right back because a big chunk of the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th weekend countdown was number 23, Breakfast in America.
The entire record. We played the whole thing, beginning to end.
Supertramp album, and it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. One of their best, a documentation of two songwriters in a band who hate each other and are just competing and writing songs and who's going to be the leader of Supertramp. And in the end, we all win because it's an amazing record. It did take up a lot of time. Did take up a lot of time. We also showed that entire scene, which I was like, Jason, this is radio. No one's going to be able to see the scene in Boogie Nights.
And I got a little testy. I said, "Shut up, Jeff. They'll see it."
Yeah, you did. But
that was the warning talking. It wasn't me.
And then you did play the part with Sister Christian as well with Alfred Molina. But, I
got confused. Again?
You got confused, but again, the warning.
That was the Mountain Dew warning, not me.
It said right on the can, remember Jolt, ... fill in the gaps. The gaps. We're going to make some mistakes here. But
yeah, we are.
It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a mistake listening to the entire album of Breakfast in America, Supertramp. Unheralded geniuses of integrating klezmer-style clarinet into classic rock.
It had to happen. It had to happen. You
prog pop.
You thought Zeppelin could do it. They didn't do it. The Kinks didn't do it. Cream, they had their chance.
No. Supertramp, they got that. Could have been a Woody Allen style clarinet playing in there.
Oh, God.
Thank God it wasn't. Thank God it wasn't, though.
Yeah, thank God. The one thing I do want to say about this record before we move on to 22 is when you first got the record, as a kid, you're looking at that album cover for Breakfast in America, and then you eventually fly to New York. Were you frightened that the waitress was going to be on the wing once you got over the airspace of New York City?
Freaking out. I've never drank a cup of OJ. Never had a cup of OJ, concentrate or pulp. I will not have French grape because of the waitress on the cover. And I blame Hypnosis. I'm assuming that's a Hypnosis album cover. And if you see it, that it's super clean and it's super creepy, that's gotta be a Hypnosis, if you know what I mean.
Hypnosis, if you know what we mean. Hey, it's the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th weekend countdown right here on 108.9 The Hawk. I'm Jason Gore here with Jeff the Angry Man Garlock. We're brought to you commercial free by SHARNEY'S, and we're about at the halfway mark here.
Almost.
And we're almost getting home. We're basically, if you're just joining us right now, if you're driving from one party to the next, having a great July 4th. First off, fuck you. Because we've been here in the studio since Friday night. I'm kidding. Enjoy your July 4th. Oh, God, just tell us what you're eating. If you could just text us or email us on the...
So you can send a pigeon for all we care, as long as we find out what you're eating, because I am starving.
I'm so hungry. I have never been this hungry before, but thank you to SHARNEY'S, and thank you to Mountain Dew Warning for keeping me fueled for the 41
Not a
greatest...
sponsor. Not a sponsor.
Well, they might as well be, because they are part of me now.
They have become part of you.
I feel like
your color
my blood
has changed, I gotta say.
Yes.
You're starting to, you've got an odd, like a in-between brownish and pinkish hue. It is. You look like a brown cola.
We'll find out soon.
Which is odd, because it is Mountain Dew. And
it is Mountain Dew, and I am supposed to turn green. That is part of it. It says,
but that's the warning. The warning is, again, do you remember, Jolt? ... You might turn brown cola.
Oh, here we go. Number 22, The Unforgiven 22. That makes sense. So the song was called The Unforgiven 22, An American Requiem by Metallica.
I tell you, there's nothing better when a song gets a sequel and when they just keep sequeling it.
The sequels are always better.
Sequels are always better. That is what we've always said.
We've always said that here.
We've always said, classic rock, you got to follow the rules. Number 2, you always got to follow those rules that boomers set, because boomers always get it.
They get it.
And number 3, sequels are always better than the original, and especially when it comes to The Unforgiven 22, An American Requiem.
And if you have been keeping track of the old man that goes throughout all of the Unforgiven songs, 1 through 22 for Metallica, this is the one where the old man travels back in time and actually signs the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah. And the nice part about this one is that this is the one where Dave Mustaine and Metallica came back together. He ghost wrote the lyrics for it, and it is like listening to a classic Megadeth song where at one point you're like, yeah, anti-government. I get it. And then halfway through, you're like, oh, anti-government in that way.
What do you mean I gotta sign the Declaration of Independence? What do you mean I gotta pick up a quill?
And then it starts to get into some really questionable "Don't Tread on Me" territory, and it is just not cool, but it's a great song.
Great song. Metallica. I can't wait for number 23. And speaking of number 21, that one didn't work.
But you'll see if you invert the numbers, this one will work, Jason. Don't be so hard on yourself, and do not drink another Mountain Dew.
When are we going to get out of the studio? I got it.
No, we're going to get out of it. We're almost out of here.
Since Saturday.
Oh, mine got eaten back into my body, and I think I've processed it. My body has become like a still suit in Dune.
Why do classic rock stations do these weekend things and then expect 2 sucker DJs to be there the whole fucking time? And you think that we would pre-record it? No, we're fucking idiots. We're here doing it live.
Scotty. I didn't even say anything, and he shook his head no. Look, Jason, we're gonna push through. We're the moron. We're gonna get to some food.
I know he'll cut this out. It won't even go out.
Don't worry. He definitely is gonna edit this out. There's nothing we know that Scotty will always edit out our live feed. Number 21. Number 21. Just an inverted 21. Of course, that is Aerosmith's big 12-inch John Adams. Now, this is a
weird one.
This is a weird, horny, patriotic, quote-unquote song.
Because honestly, the Toxic Twins don't really give us a clear picture of what they're singing about here. Are they talking about a John Adams that is 12 inches tall? Or are they talking about John Adams' member being 12 inches long?
Or are they talking about a 12-inch record? Just a vinyl record made by a band or a person named John Adams?
I don't know. It's not clear. It's not clear at all.
The only thing that's clear is it's horny.
It is the horniest Aerosmith song. I know for the longest time.
That's saying a lot.
That's saying a lot, because I got asked by Rocks Magazine last week what I thought was Rocks, of course, the premier rock magazine in Valverde.
Right.
Rocks, ROX, asked me last week, what is the horniest Aerosmith song? Very weird that they asked that question, and this is coming up. And I was going to say,
I got asked by Tumblr's magazine.
Really?
Which, of course, Valverde's premier rock tumbling magazine. And I was like, what does this have to do with rock tumbling?
It's really weird that you're even asking that question. And I said, Love in an Elevator.
Of course.
Living it up
while you're going down.
For the going down. Horniest part of any rock song I've ever heard in my life until I heard Big 12-inch John Adams, number 21.
It's not horny, though, I'll say. Our number 20.
Oh.
This one was vying for as depressing as Nobody Came to My 4th of July Cookout Boston. Of course, our number 37 on the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th Weekend Countdown. Of course, I am talking about Pearl Jam's Old Woman Behind the Counter at a National Park Visitor Center.
Let me see if I can play part of this. I learned this when I was a kid.
Yeah, we got no food. We got guitars, though.
I see the old woman behind the counter. She's giving out the maps to Arches National Park we drove to. Would not say if I could bring food into the park. Great song.
Great song. Nothing else to say about it because you sang about it. It's a great song. We don't know if she's a volunteer. We don't know if she's working there, but I know that it's a beauty. But it still is oddly depressing. I feel sad for the old woman, and I think it's just the chord choices.
I really do. It's basically just G and C. Eddie,
it's just G and C, two of the saddest. You stick them together, and Eddie gets that sad tone, that melancholy tone, and really is just kind of listing off just a visit to a national park.
That's pretty much it. It sounds like he went to Arches National Park. Beautiful park. If you haven't gone, highly recommend it. Ain't that America?
And that's what he says at the end of the song. Beautiful park. Highly recommend it. Ain't that America? But still sounds sad.
Very sad.
What doesn't sound sad but sounds more confusing, number 19. This is, of course, Stars and Stripes Forever, the classic John Philip Sousa song, but arranged only for pots, pans, and a waffle maker by, of course, Brian Wilson.
If I were to think that if Sousa was ever going to join a classic rock band, he would have been a Beach Boy.
Oh, he would have been a Beach Boy, definitely.
Oh, John Philip Sousa would have been a Beach Boy.
Would have been. But he isn't. And so Brian Wilson shows us what it's like. And this was also his counter to Mike Love's LARPing USA.
Yeah.
Not really. It was unclear that it was, but that's Brian Wilson for you. It's a little unclear what he's doing sometimes, but it definitely feels like a Sousa.
Yeah, it feels like a Sousa.
Played by a wild child.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, but you know what isn't? Speaking of child, number 18 on the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th Weekend Countdown. I am angry and offended that this song is part of the countdown. I am offended that the 108.9 The Hawk listeners voted for this so many times to get it to number 18. Of course, it's Ted Nugent's I Wish I Knew the American Flag When It Was 14.
Oh, boy. Wowzers.
Not much to say about that one.
Yeah, really, Nugent is constantly pushing our good graces on having one good song, a.k.a. Strangleholds. Yeah. Other than that, the man is just a monster, but when the boomers speak, and the boomers of 108.9 The Hawk have spoken with their voting, we get a creepy song on multiple levels, but also, what else are you going to expect from the Nuge?
I wish I knew the American flag when it was 14. Can only mean one thing.
Not a thing I want to be thinking about on this July 4th weekend.
Not at all. Oh,
wow. Really brought us down there, Nooch. But you know what did...
I know what's going to bring us up.
SHARNEY'S. Oh, man. Because you know what brings me up at SHARNEY'S? I'll tell you what brings me up at the SHARNEY'S. No cell phones.
Tell me. No cell phones. Oh,
no
my
cell
God.
phones. Mama Sharney was the first. Mama Sharney was the first, and I said he because, of course, as
the current
Mama Sharney. Because if you don't know, but why wouldn't you know? You do live in Valverde, of course. Yes. Sharney's restaurant is run by the matriarch Mama Sharney, but that is much like the position of the Pope, a position handed down over the generations. It is a complicated procedure of when the current Mama Sharney dies in Sharney's because she never leaves, and if whoever she makes contact with.
I don't mean to interrupt here, Jeff, but I love how you're saying Mama Sharney.
Yes.
Because it's Ma Sharney, but you have such a relationship.
I give extra reverence when it's the 4th of July weekend and the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America, July 4th
I get it, and you're right.
Countdown.
You're right.
Thank you. But also, it is known as Mama Sharney when Ma Sharney's presence and essence transfers to the new Ma Sharney when it's in that nether region being nether Mama Sharney, and it goes to whatever customer was looking. Of course, we all know this. I don't need to over-explain this.
Everybody knows this. Everybody knows the sound that it makes when Mama Sharney enters the new Ma Sharney.
It's horrifying.
Should we do it?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Oof. It will send a chill down your spine. But what doesn't send a chill down my spine? You go to Ma Sharney's, you ain't using your cell phone. If comedians have taken a cue from Ma Sharney, they were tired of having their material up on YouTube before, and Ma was tired of having her specials up before she announced them. So
I understand
you got to put it into
and I
a
understand
lockbox.
it, comedians. I get it, comedians. Your stuff is so fucking good that you don't want everybody to see it. They don't want, if you're over at, Dingbats in Valverde,
Dingbats,
doing your set, and you don't want that filmed because you're going to be over at the Chuckles. Chuckles, I think it's just called the Chuckles. It's a new place opening in Valverde. You don't want that people going there to see the set before because it's over.
Exactly. And I guess it's different audiences. The Chuckles is, of course, an outcropping of one that opened up the Chuckles in Austin, Texas. So I don't go to the Chuckles that often.
I don't go to the Chuckles.
Not great, but I'll watch a couple YouTube videos, but I will not watch anything that happens at Sharney's because they are in a lockbox and you are not getting it. You are just not getting it. And I appreciate that, so you can just enjoy that gravy bar.
Hey,
you know what you can also enjoy?
What's that?
The 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America, July 4th weekend.
That's what you would say.
Countdown. Sorry, I needed to cut you off because I wanted to say it.
I got shocked. You really did. You shut me down, but it was worth it. We are at number 17. Jeff, what is it?
Baseball Injury by John Fogerty. That man loves baseball. He knows baseball is an important part of America.
Oh, this is the sequel to Centerfold.
Yes.
Centerfold.
Oh, you are losing it.
Hold on, let me crack open another warning.
No, don't crack open another warning. You are losing it. Okay, jeez. Take it easy. And he shotgunned two of them. He shotgunned two at a time.
And this is the sequel to Center Field. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play on the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America, July 4th weekend countdown. Jason Gore, Jeff the Angry Man Garlock, and all of you eating at all of your cookouts. We are here. You are there. Number 17, Baseball Injury by John Fogerty.
He wasn't ready to play.
He wasn't ready to play.
He wasn't ready to play. He got a baseball injury. He should have stretched. He didn't listen.
Stretched.
He was cocky, and now his entire career is down the drain.
Yep,
that's how it works. Welcome to America.
And it's basically just the coach saying, knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, and the interesting part is in that second verse when he has to set up a GoFundMe because he realizes that his insurance wasn't as good as he thought it would be, and that that he's getting screwed by the healthcare system.
But ain't that America?
Ain't that America, right? Ain't that America?
God, I love it. I love it. So, you know what else I love? Number 16, Eddie Money's 2 tickets to anywhere in the continental U.S.
2 tickets to anywhere in the continental U.S.
And then he does a nice sax solo.
Another sax solo. This one doesn't give you as much of a heart attack, but still will hit you hard.
He's also just like, look, I can't send you to Alaska or Hawaii.
No.
But
and these are also Southwest Air. These are Southwest or Spirit. It's standby. So, but it's anywhere. You just got to be free to go. But it's a beautiful song about beautiful travels.
I wanna take you to Arizona or Nevada.
You gotta be open to fly Tuesday through Thursday.
You've been waiting so long.
On standby so long.
Give me 2 tickets to anywhere in the continental Yes. Oh, God, it's so good. R.I.P. Eddie Money.
R.I.P.
Oh, God. Oh, speaking of something in the Southwest.
And speaking about hope we don't see an RIP sometime soon.
Oh, my God.
I check the news literally every morning. I wake up and it truly is the first thing I look at.
Before you even turn the TV on, you go, is he dead?
Is he dead? And it is going to be a national crying contest when it happens.
Oh, I cannot wait for the Phil Collins Memorial National Crying Contest, because I got to tell you, Jeff,
I think I'm going to win that
lose.
one. No, what? No,
you're going to lose. You're going to lose.
You're going to lose.
I turn on the TV every morning, and then CNN immediately says to me, Phil Collins still alive, breaking. And then I can turn the news off because I don't need to watch any other news, because nothing bad is happening in America.
Nothing bad is ever happening in America. And you and I are two of the few people close to boomer age who realize that you should not leave the news on all day long.
Don't watch the news all day.
You don't need a constant stream of information, because you can sum it up in about 2 headlines. Phil Collins isn't dead. Spoiler alert. Number 15, Phil Collins. And number 2, second headline, Phil Collins has got a new song, and it's number 15. It's called More Shit About the Alamo, because this guy loves the Alamo. He can't get enough of it.
Loves the Alamo. I wonder how he felt when Ozzy Osbourne pissed on the Alamo.
Oh, not too happy, but I bet you made a fun joke about it. I bet you he
cut out the portion and saved it, and it's behind glass.
Oh, he owns it.
Alamo Museum.
He won that in a Christie's auction.
1,000%.
Then he sold it all to invest in more model trains, like him and Neil Young in that real pissing contest over model trains. I tell you, rich musicians do weird things with their money. Don't get into drugs until you're in your 40s. Well, you're going to get into the Alamo and model trains.
Oh, hey, speaking of drugs, number 14 on the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th Weekend Countdown. This is one that sounds like drugs. It's the Weather Report with Ode to America.
I tell you, this is a 20-minute fusion jazz exploration that sounds a little bit lighter than you want it to most of the time, and it never sounds like an ode to America.
It sounds nothing like America.
Sounds like every other fusion. I know. Not the America I know. I'm into it. It just isn't anything to do with America. It seems like they just slapped a title on the latest composition Zawinul had and just let Jaco Pastorius just go wild on that fucked up fretless bass of his. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful. It's a beautiful. If it's not an exploration of America, isn't it? It is an exploration of, no matter how much you appreciate the bass, a bass solo still usually sounds pretty dumb. Yeah. It just always kind of sounds like a bunch of floppy strings flopping around, and it sounds like a 4-year-old could be playing it. And I love the bass. Don't get me wrong.
And the founding fathers knew that. That's why they talked about bass solos in the Bill of Rights.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
Exactly.
We're getting down to it. We're getting there. Down to it. It's the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th Weekend Countdown, and we are at number 13. You may remember Johnny Cash, his song, I've Been Everywhere. Like, he listed off all the places. Everywhere. He has been everywhere. But one state he did not mention in that song, so he quickly rectified that. I've been to Delaware. Johnny Cash.
Went from broad to specificity. He truly really goes to town on Delaware, and I've learned a lot of things about Delaware
in 32 seconds. It is the shortest Johnny Cash song.
He does let you know Joe Biden was from there. He shoves it in, but it's essentially grindcore length Johnny Cash. It is just a quick burst of a couple of facts. Not much really going on in Delaware. I'm not gonna lie, not much going on there.
I'm sure he said that. He was like, I want to make this one grindcore length.
Oh, I believe that's a Rick Rubin move. That's a Rick Rubin move.
Hey, Rick Rubin, can we make this one grindcore length? And Rick tugs on his beard. He's like, I guess, Johnny.
He meditates for 4 hours, tells them to break down the drums and reassemble them 4 times in a row, and then he leaves for 3 weeks and comes back and says, doesn't sound good, and then leaves again.
Delaware. Joe Biden came from there.
That's about it. You got about 10 more seconds. That song's done.
He says crabs, 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 crabs. many times to end it out. And that's it. 32 seconds long.
Yeah. Hey, ain't that America? Oh, speaking of.
Oh, it's almost like you're a classic rock radio professional.
Because number 12, of course. John Cougar. This is a John Cougar. This isn't a Mellencamp. This isn't a John Cougar Mellencamp. This is a John Cougar. His answer to Ain't That America? That ain't America.
That ain't America.
That ain't America.
And he just points out all of the things that he sees wrong with America. And, I mean, I guess.
And much like a Born in the USA, so this is a song that has been misconstrued by the Republican Party. Yes. It's just been used over and over again. In their rallies, and that ain't America, and taking some liberties with the things he yells out. But you know what I say? Ain't that America? To misconstrue that ain't America.
It is totally American to misconstrue the meanings of a classic rock song, to play it at your hate rallies. Wow.
That's America for
That's
you
America
right there.
For me.
You know what's really America though for me?
What's that?
True Patriots.
Oh God.
Singing a song at number 11.
Number 11. It doesn't get like when I think about Patriots. Yes. I'm going to do the rundown for you.
Give me 'em.
Founding Fathers.
Numero unos.
Gary Sinise.
Numero duo.
Motley Crue.
Motley Crue, of course. That is all we think about at 11. Motley Crue with their most patriotic song, Red Lips, White Panties, and Blue Bras. I mean, that,
I have
is
written,
America is the song I would write about that song if I was John Cougar.
I have written my congressperson many times saying, let's just change the national anthem to Motley Crue's Red Lips, White Panties, Blue Bras. Yeah, I never get an answer. I hope I do someday. I hope I do.
Saying, but hey, call your congressman. Call those numbers out there. That's the important, but you got to get out there.
Red lips,
white panties.
And then the best part is Tommy Lee from the drums. He goes, Blue Bras.
Exactly.
Oh, God. Can you imagine standing up?
And then Mick Mars does that weird Dr. Feelgood style version where it's like, you're not really sure what he says following it up, but you're guessing it's about aliens and making bullets, you know?
And then he does one of those.
But of course, he probably has some sort of physical debilitating disease that's affecting his throat.
It's so that's part of that.
There's no effects on the voice when he's saying that one. Yeah. So he has more time to make more bullets.
Hey, number 10. This is a good one. You may remember him when he fronted Mott the Hoople. This is one of his...
I do.
You do. I do, too. This is one of his solo hits. It's Cleveland Rocks, but Stay the Fuck Out of Columbus. That's at number 10 on the countdown.
It's a great song. Ian Hunter, he is a master of trivia. He is a master of trivia. We got that Ian Hunter trivia calendar we pull off every single day.
Every day.
All the facts are about Mott the Hoople, of course, but he also wrote Cleveland Rocks, but Stay the Fuck Out of Columbus, and you got to really listen to him.
You got to listen to him. Don't go to Columbus. Just stay the fuck out of Columbus.
Just stay the fuck
Ian Hunter told you.
Yes, exactly. You know who also told us something? Springsteen.
Bruce.
Speaking of songs getting misconstrued, Bruce. I tell you see Bruce for a 4-hour set, as he is wont to do. You better be hearing this one because, of course, number 9, Bruce Springsteen. Something land, something American factory workers. I tell you,
he's had so many songs like This Hard Land and Factory, and he really does these themes so well. So why wouldn't he do a song called Something Land, something American factory workers?
I mean, it's all right there in the title, and it really it can apply to anyone. I mean, truly, he kind of leaves it open.
Yeah.
And, unclear if he's ever been in a factory. Not worked in one, just even been in one.
Unclear.
I'm not even convinced, listening to this one, that Bruce Springsteen ever actually lived in New Jersey, let alone America. But
this is a cool fact about this. I don't know if you know this, Jeff.
Is this a good rock fact?
This is a good rock facts. This song was slated to be on Nebraska 2. It's Nebraska time.
Yeah. All Clarence Clemens, no acoustic guitar. And it was going to be a fun album. It was going to be
something land. Something, American factory workers.
Crazy sax solo over the entire thing, and just Max doing a 4/4 beat, just like hard and fast and borderline
perfect.
disco. Just like
perfect.
what you want to hear after Nebraska. You want to hear something a little bit more up-tempo.
I've heard Nebraska. I don't need to hear Nebraska again. I need to hear Nebraska 2.
I'd like to
Nebraska
not kill
time.
myself. I've already listened to Nebraska once, okay?
Yeah, I want something that makes me happy. And that song certainly does it at number 9. And at number 8, Foghat, at one point in time, did a collaboration with the fine folks behind Colonial Williamsburg. In fact, they needed a theme in 1984. And of all the bands they could have gone to in 1984, they chose Foghat. So number 8, theme from Colonial Williamsburg, Foghat.
I mean, interesting choice for Colonial Williamsburg. Yeah. I mean, I got to say, better than theme from Pennsylvania Dutch Country by Barclay James Harvest.
Oh my God.
But
get that one out of here.
Yeah, speaking of get that one out of here, and this was one where I really got to take umbrage with the boomers, and I got to take umbrage with the voters.
Yeah, I know.
I think the least amount that can be said about this is the best we can do. Number 7, Tears in American Heaven by Eric Dipshit Clapton. Can we just move past this one? Can we just move past this piece of garbage?
We do have to, just to say, it is basically Tears in Heaven, but he says American Heaven instead. There's nothing special. But the only special thing you have about this is he did hire the guy that said, yeah, at the beginning of the unplugged version of Layla.
Yeah.
The guy that recognized he was playing Layla.
That guy.
Went, yeah.
Awesome.
So when he starts Tears in American Heaven, the guy goes, yeah.
Best part of any Clapton song. I'll say that right now. That guy. So I'll give it that it's got that guy in there, but the rest of that song, get out of here.
Here's another one. Boomers, I do have a question for you on this one, number 6. In terms of disturbing songs that have hit the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th weekend countdown, I was confused by Big 12-inch John Adams. I was disgusted by I Wish I Knew the American Flag When It Was 14 by Ted Nugent, which came in at number 18. I am truly disgusted by number 6, a solo track for John Bon Jovi. It was going to be used in the Young Guns 2 soundtrack, but was shelved, and then he later released it as a solo track in 96. Show Me on the Doll Where America Touched You.
Jason, I know I took umbrage with Tears in American Heaven, but I'm going to take umbrage with your fault with this song, because I think I'm going to have to give you a good rock facts.
Uh-oh, here comes good rock facts.
Show me on the doll.
We don't need you.
We don't need you, Scotty. Go to hell. Show me on the doll where America touched you. What John is actually talking about are rock dolls. And the doll is supposed to be the keyboardist from Bon Jovi, who that of course speaks with a Southern accent the entire time.
That. So, well, now I'm perfectly fine.
Exactly, that's a totally cool song. They should have no issues with that.
Totally cool with that song now.
You know what? Actually, I'm not cool with. I got to say.
What's that, Jeff?
Number 5. You know,
kind of a slap in the face, really.
A real slap in the dick, if you ask me.
Yeah.
The band America with their song Neil Young. You know, I mean, it not only does one of their most popular songs sound exactly like a Neil song.
Yeah, so much so that Neil Young's father thought it was a Neil song.
Yes. And instead, America's response was, let's just write a song called Neil Young. And it's just kind of them going na 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 poo poo to him, and it's just and that's the chorus, and it's not good.
It's a real slap in the face.
The weird part, this song shows you what America sounds like when they're not aping Neil Young, and actually it's not that great. So
if I were Neil Young and I heard this for the first time, I would be so pissed off. I would be so na 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 na.
Wow,
poo poo.
Not cool.
Not cool.
Not cool. But. What is cool?
Number 4?
Number 4 in our 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America's July 4th weekend countdown, of course.
You may remember these guys from the residency they did with Lit at the Val Verde Dog Pound.
Everybody played this song every single time a dog wasn't killed.
Yep. Right before they got Parvo. Right before the band got Parvo.
of course, Buck Cherry's classic song, Cocaine is a Metaphor for America.
Ain't it?
We were wrong all this time.
Yeah.
I love the cocaine. I love America. Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's people give him a lot of grief.
I saw a lot of veterans give a salute when Buck Cherry played this at the Valverde Dog Pound, and I was touched every time. Every time.
Touched like a rock doll. Touched by John Bon Jovi.
Or touched like the American flag when it was 14 and touched by Ted Nugent. Hey,
touched like a big 12-inch John Adams. There's a lot of touching going on in America.
This is a disgusting countdown when you get right to it.
Disgusting, just like America.
Just like
America.
41 greatest rock songs about America. July 4th weekend countdown. We're getting down to the final 2 songs, and we can tell you what they are. But number 3, I love this song more. I'm going to say this, and I know it's classic rock sacrilege, and you can tell me, Jeff, if I'm wrong, but I'm going to stand on this soapbox, and I'm going to say this Eagles song is fucking better than Hotel California.
4 of the biggest egos in rock came together to write a better song than Hotel California.
They had such a hit with Hotel California. They're like, let's just copy that. Let's do it again.
Why wouldn't we? Is what they all said together.
And of course, we're talking.
Joe Walsh didn't give a fuck. He was over there.
He's like, I'll just play whatever you want me to play.
He's wearing a Spider-Man costume. Yeah. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't
give a shit. And of course, I'm talking about we're staying at the Extended Stay Oklahoma. Extended Stay Oklahoma by the Eagles at number 3.
Beautiful song.
Beautiful song.
Beautiful hotel.
Oh, have you been there?
Oh, yes. I've been actually crashing every now and then at the Extended Stay Oklahoma when I can sneak in.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, of course, the Extended Stay Oklahoma is in Valverde.
Right.
And I have no home, and my car is still being fucking trolled on me by Arlo Guthrie driving around the country.
I saw it the other day. I saw it over by Slayer Gulch, and he just zipped right by me and waved. He waved like we were friends.
I got a picture of him waving, and I got a guitar pick of that picture etched onto it, thrown at my head while he drove past me. Well, I was sneaking into my Extended Stay Oklahoma, but I got to say, they have got a great refrigerator. There at the Extended Stay Oklahoma. Keeps all your stuff really cold, comes with a hot plate, so I can cook up a can of beans right out of that can. And I got to tell you, the Eagles knew what they were talking about at the Extended Stay Oklahoma.
Hey, let me ask you, does the rooms at the Extended Stay Oklahoma have any pictures of Anton LaVey?
Oh, yes, everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's kind of disconcerting, but I'm not paying, so, you know.
That's true. That's true. Oh, my God. We have had such a great time on the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th Weekend Countdown. Number 2, of course, it is American Girl. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Woo! You boomers were right on this one.
You got it right once. Even a broken clock is right twice.
Oh, American Girl from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers coming in at number 2 and closing the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America July 4th Weekend Countdown. I guess we can't close it yet because we have to say one good thing about
Oh no. Okay, Jason just he found a way to shotgun 4 Mountain Dew warnings while he was talking there. I think he's done. I'm gonna Scotty, can we get the paddles on him for this? We got to just finish this up. We got to get out of here. Are you back, buddy? He's struggling.
Okay. SHARNEY'S, man, I gotta say, you've been there for me whenever I needed a hot meal.
Yeah.
You've been there for me when I needed a shoulder to cry on.
Yeah.
You've been there for me when our representatives in U.S. government have just fucked it up again.
Just one over and over again.
If I could put both of these hands in the gravy buffet right now, I would, and I am going to as soon as we end this countdown. I'm coming over. Mama, I'm coming home.
Wow. Also, Mama, prepare the paddles, because I think if he's sticking his hands in that gravy bar, I think we're going to be needing another shotgun there.
I'm going head first in, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm worried about you.
I can breathe gravy now. I know that. This has taught me this. It's
Remember,
just like
Joel,
the Abyss. ...
This isn't like the Abyss, but you're going to think it is. That's what that ... is, but Godspeed to you.
Oh, here we go. Final song. And it's a shocker,
great being
guys.
with you on this one.
Hey, man, it's been a great July 4th weekend, hanging out with my best friend and Mountain Dew Warning.
Okay, well, don't put me in the same category. Scotty's got more food. You're losing it. We got to play
some of the craziest fucking songs I've ever heard of.
Oh, God, I hope we don't have to hear them again, but because it's America, I have a feeling. Got a feeling we're going to be hearing a lot more of them in the next year or so.
I hope so.
But I think what we're definitely going to be hearing is our number one song on the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America, July 4th Weekend Countdown.
Here it is.
American Woman by Lenny Kravitz.
Guess who? Song. Guess who didn't make the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America, July 4th Weekend Countdown?
Guess
what
who?
I'm saying.
Yeah. The guess who did not make it?
Because everybody out there assumes that Lenny Kravitz wrote American Woman.
Yeah. And that's boomers for you. Again, voting for the wrong thing because they're confused on facts.
Yeah,
seems like a lot of people did their own research on who wrote American Woman.
It's like somebody saw a meme and was just like, well, that's true.
Yes.
I got to send this meme to my grandkids.
Over and over again. Oh. And just ruin their days. Well, that's America for you on the 41 Greatest Rock Songs About America, July 4th Weekend Countdown. Thank you for joining us all weekend. Thank you for joining us all weekend long. We hope you and yours experience a fantastic July 4th. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.